Everybody, what's going on? It's Just a Guy with a Beer. It's Monday night. Happy spring, everyone. I got some really big news tonight, but first I just want to introduce my guest, Matt Pipkin, the head brewer.
Hello.
At Haus Brewing in the Jersey Shore. Fist pumps for everybody. And we're having a great show tonight, so stick around for the big news. Episode number 35 of Just a Guy with a Beer starts right now. All right, everybody, episode number 35 starts right now. Just before we get started, I just want to remind everybody that this portion of the show is sponsored by Willimantic Brewing Company in Willimantic, Connecticut. Amazing beers, fantastic menu. Check them out at www.willimanticbrewingcompany.com. As I mentioned before, we have Matt Pipkin, head brewer, Beach House Brewing, down in the Belmar, back home in the motherland of Jersey. Welcome to the show, Matt.
Thank you.
Glad we finally got to get you on. But before we get started, I have some really big news. Besides the fact that I just got my awesome swag in, and if you check out my Facebook page right now, everything's up there. I have T-shirts, I have hoodies, prices are listed. So drop me a DM, and if you want one, we're going fast. I've already sold almost all the double X. But if you want one, hurry up. I have a few left. Everything else, we're good to go for a bit. So. Don't wait too long because it's all going to be gone, and you'll have to wait for the next order. So big news. Today I officially became a part of the Do Not Sports family. My friend Chris Not Yet Notter and Ray Bones, they have a great thing going. They have Do Not Sports, and they're starting a new family, and Just a Guy with a Beer is now part of that. I'm part of that now as Scott Fryer. It's not going to be Just a Guy with a Beer, but we have a show debuting next Thursday, April 1st, coincidentally opening day for Major League Baseball. And you will get to see a new show called Bronx Baseball and Beers, starring none other than this guy with a beer. Just a Guy with a Beer, Scott Fryer, hosting Bronx Baseball and Beers with my good friend Chris Notter. And it's going to be awesome. And I hope you guys are excited as I am because it's going to be a whole new different thing. We got going on, but don't worry, Just a Guy with a Beer is not going anywhere. Still here, going to be here every Monday night. So big news for us here at Just a Guy with a Beer, joining with part of the Do Not Sports family. So enough about me, Matt. Welcome to the show. This is episode number 35.
Thank you.
We're here live at the Epicure Brewing Studios, and you are there live. And I assume you're in Belmar, correct?
I live in Asbury, so I'm like 10 minutes.
Okay. Almost the boss. Yeah, home of Springsteen.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so listen, everybody that knows me knows that I'm a Jersey Shore guy. We don't say from the Jersey Shore, we say down the shore. Yeah. Right? I'm sure you've learned that by now.
Yeah.
Everybody says down the shore, so you guys are down the shore, and that was my old stomping grounds down in Belmar. So where are you guys actually located?
So we are, was it 801 Main Street, Belmar? We used to be it's the old Freedman's Bakery building. Right in the heart of town. You know, we're close to everything. Probably about 8 to 10 blocks away from the beach. Great spot.
That's great. And the old Freedman's Bakery, it was a staple of my childhood. We used to go there when I used to go into town with my mom. Or we'd go there as a family. We hit Belmar or go to the beach or whatever. We had to stop at Freedman's for some cookies or some bread or whatever. But it's kind of cool. I didn't know that. And I told you earlier before we came on that. I didn't really realize that you guys were in that old building. So I know it had closed, but it's kind of neat. Now I really have to get there.
Yeah, you got to come by. It's gorgeous. Obviously we renovated it for the better, but we've kept the since the bones of it intact. So it still looks like the block looks like in the old Freeman pictures, which is nice.
Yeah, it was there for 64 years, I think.
Yeah.
It was Freeman's, and now you guys opened up your doors to the public in March of 2015.
Yeah, yeah, 2014, I want to say, I think, or is it 2015?
Is when you guys started construction, I think, right?
Yeah, 2014 is when we started construction. Yeah.
And then you
Uh,
opened up to the public for the first time a little over a year later. So happy anniversary! It's 6 years.
Thank you. Yeah.
So now you weren't part of the original ownership team. You have new owners
No.
now, right? So
Yeah, I mean, so I wasn't. No, it's the same owners,
right.
but it's. I mean, the brewing team's changed a little bit. It just was they wanted to go in a different direction. It just made sense. I was out in Seattle, and look, I was working at a brewery out in Seattle. The owner of that brewery knew one of the owners for this brewery, and was like, when I told him I was moving back to New Jersey, trying to figure out what was next, I couldn't stand the rain in Seattle. He was like, well, let me get you in contact with this guy. I can't promise you a job, but I can promise you an interview. We'll see what happens. So pretty much interviewed him like probably the beginning of the summer. That's about 3 years ago. And then he got back to me about a month later. We talked, and just kind of hit it off from the get-go. And I started just doing their R&D stuff. And then eventually, came time to do the R&D stuff on a bigger scale, the 30 barrel brew. So we're a 30 barrel brew house. So yeah, and then it just was, we're a good fit, and the other guy he was ready to, do something else.
So tell me your background now. You said you talked a little bit about you were out in Seattle.
Okay, so I guess I'll start from the get-go. So home brewer since I was 18. It's kind of funny. You could buy all the parts, you just can't buy it together, ironically. And I'm not saying you should, underage drink, but, again, we're just having a little fun. No. So I was, a science major. So it was psychology, looking at either doing psychiatry, psychopharmacology, or, big science and science background. And happened by chance, I got to go to like a science week where Sam Coloni from Dogfish was there, and he was doing all the ancient ales. So cool presentation. I think it was about maybe 2 or 3 hours long. It was him and Patrick McGovern. So he's the molecular archaeologist for, I think it's Penn State or Penn University. I think it's Penn State.
Penn State.
Yeah. So they just did this great presentation. Towards the end, they were kind of speeding it up to get through the presentation, and he's like, hey, we're here, we got the room for another hour and a half. He's like, we don't bite, we're gonna be here to answer questions and hang out. He was like, it's open bar, let's have fun, right? So I got to talk to him, for about half an hour. I was like, obviously, brewing on a large scale, it's all science, it's all, it has to be exact. And luckily he was like, listen, if you want to brew, he was like, you need to go to UC Davis. And he grabbed my hand like I was a boxer, and he started chanting UC Davis. The entire room's looking at us. It was funny. I mean, it was a great moment. He was like, Michael Lewis, and, it's fantastic teacher. He's like, you need to go there. He's like, this is where I get my brewers from, So eventually, applied. Luckily having a science background, I was able to get in. So like my class was mostly engineers and people who worked on oil rigs and looking for a second kind of job, and it was like me and another person who were like a medical psychology route going in. But yeah, you went to UC Davis, it's technically, it's not a master's program. It's like their, what is it? I want to call it. Pretty much it's like a 15-week accelerated. It's like, if you want to get into like brewing, this is what you do. And
yes,
it was great.
Offering that now. There's I'm actually looking into one at the University of Vermont right now.
Yeah, I mean that I would say is probably the best on the East Coast from what I've heard.
Oh,
yeah. But yeah, so I went there. As I was there, worked at it was the lead brewer, pretty much the only one brewing at a brewery in Sacramento. Left there, went to Seattle, was working at another brewery, and then it just all my friends were from Rutgers. We all went to go. So everyone's still in New Jersey. So it was like, it's time to come home. Came home. Luckily, The best part was they offered me the job, and at this time I was in the process of saving money to go to San Diego, try to do like the Hollywood brewer thing.
Right.
And so they offered me the job, and they paid for a hotel for a couple of days while I was there, and I was like, okay, well, I just kind of sat on the beach in Belmar, right? Walked up, what is that? It's 8th Street, 8th Avenue,
Avenue.
to the 7-Eleven. I got a Slurpee. And I just sat on the sand dune. I was like, well, isn't this what I wanted? I wanted to live on the beach and brew beer. And it was 2 blocks from DJ's. I got an apartment over there. And it was. We just started changing everything up. It's been great.
It's awesome. So listen, I gotta stop you here.
Sure.
Does anybody else see this? Do you know who you look like and sound like?
Who?
You're killing me right now. You look like freaking Eli Manning, dude. I look at you and I listen to your voice. I'm like, this is Eli Manning. Someone's pulling a prank. Has anyone ever told you that?
No, you're the first.
Yeah, the first one. If anybody else sees this, please write it. So I'm not the only one. Maybe I'm just crazy, but maybe it's because I have Eli Manning on the brain almost 24/7. So still, even though he's retired. Now you are a Jet fan or are you a Giants fan?
Oh, I'm a Giants fan. Giants and Yankees, actually. So
you're from the Queens.
I know. I'm the black sheep in the family. They're all Mets.
But I love it.
I mean, yeah.
Yes, that's good because I'm anti both of those teams, very much so. You have to be. Right? If you're a Giants and a Yankees fan, you cannot be.
Yeah.
Be a Mets fan.
Same thing. I moved to Jersey for in my young years, and I was the Rangers fan. They were all Devils fans. It's just kind of.
I'm a Devils guy, but I also like the Bruins because I've lived in New England for 31 years. So 30 years.
I see.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So I have, I don't get. I just recently started getting Madison Square Garden network so I can watch the Devils.
Nice.
But it's Bruins here. So we like both teams. We like both teams. I grew up with the Devils, so
I just love good hockey. I like good, But
it's hard to find a good hockey fan anymore. Like almost kind of, it's like football, basketball, baseball. Even baseball is starting to fall off.
Yeah.
But it's football and basketball, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Like you have your hardcore hockey fans, and then nobody casually is a casual hockey fan. So that's funny. So it's weird that no one's ever said that to you because I'm telling you, man, I'm looking at you and I hear your voice, and even how you talk, not just the way your voice sounds, you sound and your mannerisms are just like Eli. It's crazy.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's a compliment because Eli
he's fantastic. He's one of the greatest.
But if you're being a Giant fan, So, listen, it wouldn't be an episode of Just a Guy with a Beer if I didn't spill my water down the front of my shirt. I do it every week. I don't know why. I don't do it on purpose, but it's kind of weird. So let's get back to what you guys got going on. So we talked. You talked about it a little bit. You guys are a 30-barrel system. So
yeah,
if somebody's watching, they have zero idea.
So we're pushing out. 30 barrels is about 900 gallons. So we're pushing out about 1,000 gallons every time we make a beer. So, if that's 30 barrels, it's going to be 60 half barrel kegs is the way to look at it. Or again, about 1,000 gallons. Because we overshoot, so we can compensate for hops and everything else coming down.
Now, that 1,000 gallons of all the beers together, or is that just per beer?
Oh, per beer. Yeah.
Okay.
So when we're doing one beer, it's we're sending down about 1,000 gallons, a little bit more, just to make sure that we get the
how many cans do you generally fill? Everybody could do the math. But you said
so we always split everything up. Can wise, we're usually doing, let's say, it's usually like a couple hundred cases, and then we'll, do sixtels and kegs. It's all kind of split out. Because we do it in house, but we also do distribution through Philadelphia, so Eastern Pennsylvania, Albany, New Jersey, and we're in the process of getting into New York at the moment.
Keep going.
Oh, I know. We used to be in, I believe, about 13 to 15 states. When when it was all about the mix match, was it 12 packs?
Yeah.
But we're in the process of getting back there. Seeing what our neighborhood's going to be and going from there. But yeah, we're just everyone's happy. We were looking at some of the demographics of who's coming to Beach House. And it's a lot of people. I would say a lot of people from Manhattan, a lot of people from Brooklyn. Some people coming from from PA, but we got
You
some.
know what we call those back home in the Jersey Shore, right?
Yeah,
You know we call them the bennies.
some bennies. I was a benny for a year until they were like, you need one summer here, Matt. Then you're no longer a benny.
Right. You need to have a full, not just like a couple week rent a house.
Yeah,
You got to have
full week.
on.
Yeah. I mean, it's also it was crazy because when I first moved down here, like I didn't really understand the culture, and it literally like over like was it Labor Day and Memorial Weekend, it goes from 5,000 people to 50,000 people over weekend, pre-COVID, of course, and then the same thing, it's all of a sudden it's like the next weekend after everyone's gone, it's just like no one's here. They call it local summer. It's great. I love it.
That is great. Now, also, you guys also have a lot of beer on tap.
Yeah, so we have
changing out
so we do I would say about 18 beers on tap. We also do a test department, which we do right now. We're doing every other week is a new fresh beer, cool funky idea. It's done between anyone in the production team, and it's anything goes, and that's how we start actually all of our beers. So for instance, the milkshakes, the swell, pretty much everything you guys have or that I sent to you.
Yeah.
It all started as a small batch, and we're like, okay, can this work on a bigger system? Does it work? Is it feasible? And yeah, it starts there. So
I love that idea. I love that idea. Like you just make a small batch of something, get it out there. Because I think actually when it was funny because my mom and dad, I told you my mom and dad had gone for me that day. They loved it, by the way. They thought it was great. They're gonna go back. We'll talk about that more a little bit. But when my dad was FaceTiming me. He's like, "All right, what do you want?" He was holding the phone up. I was like, "All right, I want that one. I want that one." And I think I might have gotten one of the test department beers. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a fun. We actually just kind of upgraded it. So it's a 1-barrel system, but we kind of upgraded some parts so that we can now can it and send it out. Because usually it was just all draft.
Yeah.
But so it's been nice that you can take some home. It's either drafts or we do everything in growlers at the place. Or cans, obviously.
Yeah.
But
I think it's a great idea. You see if it works, and then if
exactly.
it does, then you guys.
Brewery
that in fact they're a brand new sponsor for the show, Labyrinth Brewing Company. They have a little thing where you could become a part of their test department. Right? You go there, you drink a beer. There's a QR code on the table, and you get one of the new beers. You scan the QR code, and you can rate the beer for them, so it helps them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's very. So I thought that was very, very unique.
We just set it up so that we have like a digital menu, and then also we're using obviously Untapped to just kind of like have people rate the beers. It's been pretty good. It's been a good not the only let's say way of rating, but for us it's helped us see what people like, what they don't like. And then the other thing that's really cool is that we just recently got the restaurant up. So if you come, it's also, it's beer, it's wine, it's liquor, cocktails, and food, obviously. So it's a good time. So it's no longer like, oh, I had 2 beers, I need a little food. Let's go leave to go to like 10th Ave Burrito or something. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Untapped, so you guys are on Untapped, and you guys put your beers up on Untapped at all? Or?
Yeah. Everything's on there. Yeah, I think we're like a 3.7 or 3.8 for the brewery.
That's good.
It's not bad. I mean, it's gotten a lot better in the last couple of years. I'm really excited about that. Everything's just kind of been moving in the right direction. It's been fantastic.
And just so anybody else watching know, I have a just a guy with a beer Untapped. I just opened it up over the weekend. So because I'm on my beer hiatus, my beer vacation, the dry March. I have 0 check-ins and 0 beers, so that will change here in 10 more days, 9 days really, to wake up. So I'll start checking in, and I had one under my own name for a while, but I kind of lost track, and I stopped doing it after my trip to Portland, Maine. But I'm back on. I want to do it. I think it's kind of fun to share the beers that I'm drinking, not just on the show, but off the air as well, to the people that watch my show and track me. So. Look for more of that. Definitely, I'm going to be checking in all these beers that we're going to talk about.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yes. You're looking for me on Untapped, and just the guy with the beer. Pretty easy. You'll see my logo right there. So, cool. Good. So we have some more things to talk about. Obviously, we're going to talk about these awesome beers, but we're going to go take a little break. We're going to take a time out and do some commercials real quick. So don't go anywhere, folks. You're watching Just a Guy with a Beer, episode number 35. We'll be right back. Matt Pipkin from Beach House Brewing down the Jersey Shore is here with us tonight. We'll be right back.
If you're in the market for a used vehicle at a great price, head over to GNS Auto Sales in Franklin, Connecticut and take a look at their great selection. BMW, Audi, Dodge, Chevy, Ford, and so much more. And whether it's an oil change, brake repair, or the check engine light, let Kat, Wendy, and their team of professionals take care of all your automotive needs. That's GNS Auto Sales located in Franklin, Connecticut. Give them a call at 860-383-0050 or find them on the web at www.gnsautosales.llc.com.
Have you got a taste for exquisitely crafted beer and pub grub with a foodie flair? Then These Guys Brewing Company on Franklin Street in Newark, Connecticut has got what you're craving. Enjoy a variety of classic and unique craft beers brewed on site and indulge in a delicious meal with seasonal dishes from their scratch kitchen. And check them out on Facebook or online at theseguysbrewing.com to stay up to date with their freshest brews, current menu, and upcoming events. These Guys Brewing Company, where it's all about good times, great food, and fantastic craft beer.
Hey, do you hear that? That's the sound of people getting together and having a good time. These are some of the sounds that you're going to hear when you visit Epicure Brewing on Franklin Street in Norwich. Epicure is a craft brewery that wants you to experience friends, a lot of laughter, and of course, Epicure's craft beers on tap. Bring your friends or come down and make some new ones while enjoying the freshest quality beer in the area. Epicure Brewing is located at 40 Franklin Street, Norwich, right in the heart of the historic district of Norwich. Check out Epicure Brewing on the web at epicurebrewing.com, as well as finding them on Facebook. So come on down and add your voice to the sounds you hear in the back. Hashtag Epicure Brewing for life.
Unify is a local full-service marketing and branding agency that helps your business strategize, develop, and implement a marketing plan using the best platforms and materials to connect you with the right customers quickly. Find them on Facebook at Unify CT or on Instagram at Unify_CT or call Laura directly at 860-326-6003. Strategize, develop, and connect. That's Unify. You know, I've always wondered what it would be like to have a place to go that combined my favorite things. Great beer, a rustic, authentic, relaxing vibe that plays great metal music in the background, all while being close to home. Well, Labyrinth Brewing Company in Manchester, Connecticut has made that wish come true. Finding their love for craft beer and the legends of heavy metal, they have created a fantastic atmosphere for craft beer lovers of all tastes. Whether it's the smooth, dark flavor of Freezing Moon, the eye-watering bite of a Sour Minotaur, or the hoppy flavor of a Turbo Love Juice, you'll always find something to enjoy on their tap list. And if craft beer isn't your thing, not to worry. Labyrinth now has a full wine, cider, and frozen cocktail menu just for you. Check them out on the web at www.labyrinthbrewingcompany.com.
Do you have a junk car or maybe one that got blown up and caught on fire? The guys from Scrap for Cash, they don't care. They're going to come to you. They're going to tow it away for free, and then they're going to pay you $275 for it. Scrap for Cash will turn that heat into money so you can pay bills, taxes, groceries.
I'm right on the town.
Find Scrap for Cash on Facebook or call 860-373-2556. Scrap for Cash. Do you have a junk car?
All right, we're back on episode number 35, Just a Guy with a Beer. I am Scott Fryer, along with Matt Pipkin, the head brewer at Beach House Brewing down in Jersey Shore, Belmar, New Jersey. And we have been talking away here about your awesome location, maybe a little bit of old school reminiscent for me. And it's been so a good time so far. But we're almost a little bit halfway through. I told you the other day when we had our little conversation that it goes by so fast. You know, we get to talk.
Oh, it definitely does.
It goes by so quick, and I wish we could go on and talk. We could probably talk for another hour or so. But I'm glad to have you here. I'm glad that we're helping you guys. Some of my friends up here in New England get to hear a little bit about Jersey Shore and go down there because it's a hot spot, like we were talking about between Memorial Day and Labor Day. You know, the town goes from we said 15,000 to 50,000 overnight.
Yeah, it's crazy.
and it's crazy. So a lot of people get down there. You know, I'm gonna get down there again myself this year for the first time in a long time. So get down there and visit these guys. Get in there, and listen. Before we I have to talk about this for just 1 second because I have a question about your food for just 1 second. This segment of the show is brought to you by LBP Hair Studio in Oakdale, Connecticut. Go see Jen and her girls for all of your hair design needs. Go to www.lbphairstudio.com. And thank you, Jen, and your awesome team there at LBP. So my mom and dad went, and they brought me some cool beer. And my dad sent me a picture. I'm going to put it up here in a minute. Of the beers that he bought. So, but he said you guys had a David Burke burger.
Yeah, so we were David Burke. Yeah, so we partnered. So two things. So the whole area, the area of the brewery is we have we own the buildings, so we have like certain spots. What used to be a restaurant for a pizzeria. And it's been sitting for a while. We actually turned into a David Burke restaurant. I think the soft opening is next week or 2 weeks from now. I apologize. I don't know the date. But yeah, so we've been doing two things. We're going to have a fancy upscale restaurant. And then we also have just like some nice grub, if you want to have a couple beers and hang out. So it's, the menu is really nice. The food's great. We've been doing happy hour Monday to Friday where that's been great. But yeah, again, just easy stuff like burgers, pizzas, just like fun stuff to eat while you're and it's a lot of it's also share food. So like, get a couple appetizers. If you're with you and a friend or a couple people, you could just, pick, share, have a good time. That's, it's been great for us.
It's excited. In fact, he just texted me on the side. He's like, talk about the David Burke food. Talk about the David Burke.
Yeah, the Burke food is fantastic. I gotta say, he does like his signature. Like my favorite signature is he does like hanging bacon. So it's like this thick slab of bacon. It's like getting like a little mini like bacon steak. That's the best way to explain it.
Bacon steak.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like I would say maybe like about a half an inch thick, I believe. No, I mean it's like 3 or 4 pieces of bacon like together like for a slab. Delicious. Again, it's just they have like these fun like appetizers, pizzas, burgers, chicken sandwiches. Like it's not like too highbrow, nothing crazy. Where and it's just good food, and it complements the great beer. So
now we talked a bit on Saturday when you and I had a conversation about you guys being a gastropub, like one of the first in New Jersey. Is that what
yeah, so we're this. So New Jersey, the state, the TTB, they're all kind of looking at us, see what happens. Pretty much, we're like still full production brewery. We were so technically we were a brew pub, so we gave up our rights to do self distribution. At the moment, we're under 10,000 barrels, so we're not close to it. So we're not really concerned about distribution of over 10K. And yeah, it's been great. It's just kind of like it just helped out. Plus, I mean, working in the summer there, I would say 1 in 5 comes in, and they're just like, oh, can I see your food menu? And obviously previous to this, we didn't have a food menu, so they just kind of leave. So it just, it's like there's a market that like, we're tapping into, and plus obviously food plus beer makes no sense. We were lucky enough to procure a liquor license in Belmar. It was one of the restaurants went for sale. We bought the building. We bought the the liquor license in the building together. We transferred the liquor license. So I mean, like when you go, even if you're not a beer person, there's something there for you. There's wine, there's beer, there's cocktails. I mean, like the cocktail list is fantastic. There's Chris James. He does all of David Burke's restaurants. He came in. He did he's doing our seasonal cocktail menus. Fantastic guy. He knows this stuff. On top of that, we might be. Well, we're gonna be bringing back like we usually do slushy beers.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun because we bought like a nice slushy machine to do it. This year, we're actually just gonna do straight real slushies because we don't have to worry about because we have a liquor license. So
the younger crowd, those are a hit. Like
yeah, and again, we want something for everybody, right? So let's say like somebody comes in, they or she is a beer drinker, and their significant other is not. Well, there's something there for them. Stay for a couple of drinks, have a great time. a lot of music right now. Nothing too crazy, nothing fist pumping, but just enough to like enjoy yourself.
What do you mean?
You
It's
know.
sure, man. You're supposed to have the.
Oh, I know. Like I joke around because we have this large space that we're doing the restaurant, and I was like, okay, so Friday night, Saturday nights, let's turn to the clubhouse. Just bar.
Yes.
I know, like no, Matt, this is never gonna happen. But like we joke around about it. It's fun to say, but yeah. So it's been great. The food is phenomenal.
That's what I heard. My dad is raving right now. He's texting me right here. He's like, big ass pretzel. He had a big ass.
Yeah. So like I would say the best appetizers. There's a pretzel. We're doing like like nice pigs in a blanket. We're doing shishito peppers. What else? Also, they started doing like so it's a hot dog, bratwurst, knockwurst with like lots of toppings on it. Again, just easy to share. You cut them in half. You can just share them with your friends. Yeah. Oh, and it's so good. Like you just get like 2 apps and you're full. Like I mean, we don't skimp on the portions.
Nice. He also mentioned the donuts.
Yeah. So we did. So we're doing. I guess it's called like Joey Bag of Donuts. We're doing. Again, the desserts are great. So Joey Bag of Donuts. We're doing like a local donut, just kind of chilling out. It's easy. It's in the bag. Comes out. There's a little bit of presentation.
Nice.
And then the other thing is, so we're doing like a. How to explain it? So it is like a nice tower with like cheesecake pops and like a cotton candy like tower going on. It's really interesting because the presentation's nice. The cheesecake pops are great. And again, like like the thing I noticed from working there from day one is that we don't cut corners. Like I know what the system looks like. I understand pumps. I know what things cost, cost in the brewing industry. And I walked in and was like, oh wow, this is like the equivalent of like a Ferrari, right? And so like, I mean, the brewing system is fantastic. We didn't spare any expenses. The restaurant's fantastic. Again, didn't spare expenses. We're just like, let's do this,
Yeah, and everything sounds awesome, man. I'm even more excited. We're talking about like a stack of cheesecake pops with cotton candy.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
great.
That's great. So now my dad's shared a picture. I'm going to share it.
Okay.
This is what they brought me. So
yeah. So Go Mango is like one of our first like IPAs that we did like heavily fruited with mango. So it's Go Mango in a sense. We just we're very punny. And also the other beer is our first milkshake, but it's probably like our most popular. We were made for each other. Ironically, it's kind of fun. The beer is just great. When we went to AC Beer Fest, that beer won second place. Well, I guess so. Yeah, 2009. I guess so. 2019. So last time they had AC Beer Fest, that won second for the hazy/IPA category. That was our first milkshake. It's just been great. That was both of those started as a test. Well, one is a test department. The other one is started as a test department, got its own label, and it's been great. It's been
some great feedback. They drink them, yeah.
I mean, after the show, I'm going to follow you on Tap. So I mean, I'm excited to see what you're drinking. You get to see what I'm drinking.
So let's get into it. This is the meat and potatoes of our conversation. All right. You sent me some awesome beer mail, and thank you. I love beer mail. I always love beer mail. So
it's about
it is. This is so the first beer we're going to talk about is your Whatchamalager.
Yeah.
Okay? Your Whatchamalager sounds pretty good, right? It's peanut butter and the natural. So a lager with peanut butter, that's different.
Yeah. So we're not. I mean, So Whatchamalager, we're doing. It's a black lager. So we're looking at roasted notes, light body. So you can have a couple of them. Like think of like a pastry stout, right? You can have one. The ABV is kind of high. You get full after it because it is a big filling beer. Whereas, I'm not saying this is a pastry lager. Maybe we'll see a Beach House pastry lager in the future, but this is just like a nice, easy peanut butter drinking beer. Like it's just great. It's fun. The chocolate notes come out really well, and then it's peanut butter flavor. We're using Winter Rental as the base, and it's just nice, easy drinking beer. It's fun, a little sweet. But the char comes out. Roasted notes.
Probably awesome with those donuts.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Just give me all the sweetness.
Yes. So that's very interesting. And now I might bump that up. I might bump the New England IPA down and bump that one up. Now you have me intrigued.
Yeah.
All right. The next one up The next one up is Swash White Ale. So talk to me about Swash White Ale.
So Swash is our new. Well, it's been out for about a year. It's a new wit beer. Again, just something easy drinking. We're looking at for people who want a Hefeweizen or a wit beer. Easy drinking. We're using a little bit of Zythos in it, so it has a hint of pineapple. Just kind of get those beach feels. And again, so as a brewery / at this point, as a pub, realistically, we have a lot of people who this is their first experience with craft beer. And I hear, when I was bartending for a little bit just to help them out, you definitely hear, I don't drink Blue Moon, I drink Coors Light, I drink this, I drink that. So it's, just being like, try this. This is really nice. It's comparable, something easy, and that's what it's about. Just easy drinking, just nice beer,
And it sounds like, and you mentioned that someone comes in, what do you got? Because I drink Coors Light. Well, yours always for somebody.
Yeah.
And then knowing customers and knowing what you guys brew that's comparable, and that's part of the cool thing about working in the industry.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. As the head brewer, I'm also teaching everyone who works at the restaurant, like what's the beers, what's the styles, just helping them out. We're doing a couple classes, but again, right, a lot of our, the people who come to visit are people, we do get a lot of craft beer nerds. I'm a nerd, so I take that term with endearment, but we also get a lot of people. This is, we're a destination location, we're, in the middle of the beach, people come down, they're like, and they just see like, wow, there's like, in a sense, like, pre-COVID, a party going on outside. What's going on? I want to check this out, so the idea is that if we could have something for everyone, and again, just something simple, easy, not too complicated to drink on the palate, and that's what it's about, and again, lower ABV, just kind of nice, I enjoy it in the summer, so
that's the best on the boat. Like the lower ABV drinks.
Yeah.
And after you've been on the lake all day drinking the low ABVs, and you hit the beach.
Well, that's what I'm drinking. A little lighthouse, easy drinking, 4.2, 4.5. Like just
best.
Under
Yes.
99 calories or maybe 125 calories. Easy drinking. Yeah.
Next up is King Sabro Imperial IPA.
Okay, so King Sabro was done by my assistant brewer Logan Smith. Fantastic beer, and this is our first time using the Sabro hop, so that Neo Mexicanas. We're looking at big flavors of coconut, pineapple. Again, juicy tropical hazy IPA. But also it's a little bit bigger. So like no lactose in it, but straight IPA. So and it's great for the summer. Again, right? There's nice tropical notes. You can't beat it. So it was kind of something that was kind of missing in our portfolio. Right. So it was just pretty much we had we didn't have that nice bigger IPA that people were like, oh, that's what I want. I want something a little stronger. So it came out and it's super smooth, easy drinking. Yeah, that's the other thing, because I would say my style, but also kind of what we try to do at the brewery is just it has to be not too I do very subtle, not too complicated, and just just fun to drink.
I love already. We've gone through half the beers that you sent me, and just the style differences are amazing. And this is just a small sampling. This is a third of what you guys normally have.
Yeah, we usually have about 18 to 20 beers on tap. We do have a nitro line, so depending on what's happening, we have a nitro line. Since we are a pub, we are allowed to like buy kegs, but the only thing we usually actually do buy is cider. So if you want a cider, you're lactose intolerant, or you're sorry, if you're glucose? Not glucose. Sorry,
gluten-free.
Gluten-free. Yeah, that's what it is. So that's our gluten-free option right now.
Yeah, that's a lot of people are on that the gluten-free thing. So
yeah,
some of the stuff like the keto, if people are on the keto diet, I found some of those things to be actually pretty interesting. I had my first keto pizza.
Oh, nice.
Here in Connecticut, and listen, before we go on, we got to talk about something. Don't move.
Okay.
Here. Don't if you like you're from Queens. You live in Jersey, so you know what good pizza is, right?
Oh, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
This is so important.
Talk about New England pizza.
It's pizza. Oh, it's pizza. So when I moved to California, right? everyone was like, "Oh, Matt, you're originally from New York." I'm like, "Yeah," they're like, "Oh, I want to take you to this pizza spot," and I was just like, after the fourth or fifth person who was like, "I want to take you somewhere for pizza," I was like, "You guys don't understand the concept. Like, you're missing. Like, there's something lost in translation." And when I got off the plane, right? So I got off the plane. I was at LaGuardia, right? So my mom picked me up. We're driving back to we were visiting my grandpa. We literally stopped at my favorite pizzeria. She literally got me a pie, sesame on the crust, San Marzano tomatoes. Oh, it was so good. And then we went to Jersey. It was it was so good.
Now listen, there are New England pizza. I would say New England. I would say Connecticut. Connecticut.
Okay.
They call it a Pete's, right? It's Frank Pepe's.
Okay.
Sally's. I don't know if you've heard. You probably heard of Frank Pepe's before.
I think I've heard Frank Pepe's.
It's good. It's different. It's brick oven pizza, and it's good, but it's good in a different way.
Yeah,
it's a big debate whether it's the best pizza in the world. But listen, nothing beats a good slice of Jersey pizza.
Oh no, it doesn't.
Jersey. Now, I will say that one of the guys that sponsors me, Lostella Pizzeria in Norwich. You give them a call. It's too late now. They're getting ready to close, but they make some fantastic pizza. And my son, he's born and raised in Connecticut. He says it's the best pizza he's ever had. I'm not going to get crazy because I had to give up my Jersey card if I said that. But it's pretty damn good and it's pretty close.
Okay. I'll have to check it out.
Yes, you come up because there's a David Burke's here at Fox. I live right near Foxwoods. So
okay.
I'm in between Foxwoods and Mohegan Sun.
Okay.
So they're 20 minutes apart. I'm like smack dab between those two.
Nice. Yeah. He's doing phenomenal. He's just opened up. I think it used to be Fromagerie in Rumson, and I could be wrong on the location. He's opening up a new restaurant tonight. So that's where my boss is. Who's going to join us on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just he's doing phenomenal. I'm glad that he partnered with us to do something different. And I think that was the other thing when we had his main trainer come in. She was like, yeah, this is a lot different from what we do. We're very much this is our low key chill. We're not looking to for instance, if you come, right, you go to a normal restaurant, they want to turn your table. This is I don't know, have fun. You want to play a board game? Bring a board game. Let's hang out, have some food, drink some beers, chill out, enjoy, have a great experience.
That's Sorry, you just mentioned that about the kids or board games and stuff. Now,
yeah,
I don't know what the rules in New Jersey are. Are kids allowed in?
Food? So we're a full restaurant, so you're allowed in. We card at the tables, so we're not it's just it's treated as like a restaurant.
Okay. Because my kids enjoy we go to a brewery or whatever, and they'll have a stack of cards on the table, like trivia cards. You play trivia or you play some kind of board game or whatever, and that's kind of fun because I'm at a brewery, but you know what? I'm enjoying some family time as well.
Exactly.
It's not just a
it's the modern thing to do. We grew up with beer, and at this point, a lot of us, are having kids. You want to continue to enjoy yourself. I remember going to I think it was no, it wasn't true. What was it? It was I was in a brewery in outside of Boston, and they had a playground at the brewery. I was like, this is fantastic. Obviously all the tables were in the range. There was a sign that was play at your own risk. Make sure your child's okay. But it was it was kind of just cool to see. That's
neat. So let's let's take a break. We're halfway through the beers that you sent.
Sounds great.
Break. We'll run through my sponsors one more time, and we'll come back. We'll finish up with these, and we'll finish up with a few more questions before we say goodnight. So
cool.
Everybody right here. You're watching Just a Guy with a Beer with Scott Fryer. Right now, I have Matt Pipkin, the head brewer from Beach House Brewing, down the shore in Belmar, New Jersey. This is episode number 35 of Just a Guy with a Beer. We'll be right back.
If you're in the market for a used vehicle at a great price, head over to GNS Auto Sales in Franklin, Connecticut and take a look at their great selection. BMW, Audi, Dodge, Chevy, Ford, and so much more. And whether it's an oil change, brake repair, or the check engine light, let Pat, Wendy, and their team of professionals take care of all your automotive needs. That's GNS Auto Sales located in Franklin, Connecticut. Give them a call at 860-383-0050 or find them on the web at www.gnsautosales.llc.com.
Have you got a taste for exquisitely crafted beer and pub grub with a fruity flair? Then These Guys Brewing Company on Franklin Street in Norwich, Connecticut has got what you're craving. Enjoy a variety of classic and unique craft beers brewed on site and indulge in a delicious meal with seasonal dishes from their scratch kitchen. And check them out on Facebook or online at theseguysbrewing.com to stay up to date with their freshest brews, current menu, and upcoming events. These Guys Brewing Company, where it's all about good times, great food, and fantastic craft beer.
Hey, do you hear that? That's the sound of people getting together and having a good time. These are some of the sounds that you're gonna hear when you visit Epicure Brewing on Franklin Street in Norwich. Epicure is a craft brewery that wants you to experience friends, a lot of laughter, and of course, Epicure's craft beers on tap. Bring your friends or come down and make some new ones while enjoying the freshest quality beer in the area. Epicure Brewing is located at 40 Franklin Street, Norwich, right in the heart of the historic district of Norwich. Check out Epicure Brewing on the web at epicurebrewing.com, as well as finding them on Facebook. So come on down and add your voice to the sound you hear in the background right now. Follow the hashtag Epicure Brewing for life.
Unify is a local full-service marketing and branding agency that helps your business strategize, develop, and implement a marketing plan using the best platforms and materials to connect you with the right customers quickly. Find them on Facebook at Unify CT or on Instagram at Unify_CT or call Laura directly at 860-326-6003. Strategize, develop, and connect. That's Unify. You know, I've always wondered what it would be like to have a place to go that combined my favorite things. Great beer, a rustic, authentic, relaxing vibe that plays great metal music in the background, all while being close to home. Well, Labyrinth Brewing Company in Manchester, Connecticut has made that wish come true. Finding their love for craft beer and the legends of heavy metal, they have created a fantastic atmosphere for craft beer lovers of all tastes. Whether it's the smooth, dark flavor of Freezing Moon, the eye-watering bite of a sour Minotaur, or the hoppy flavor of a Turbo Love Juice, you'll always find something to enjoy on their tap list. And if craft beer isn't your thing, not to worry. Labyrinth now has a full wine, cider, and frozen cocktail menu just for you. Check them out on the web at www.labyrinthbrewingcompany.com.
Do you have a junk car or maybe one that got blown up and caught on fire? The guys from Scrap for Cash, they don't care. They're going to come to you. They're going to tow it away for free, and then they're going to pay you $275 for it. Scrap for Cash will turn that heat in your backyard into money so you can pay bills, taxes, groceries.
A night on the town.
Find Scrap for Cash on Facebook or call 860-373-2556. Scrap for Cash.
All right, welcome back to Just a Guy with a Beer, episode number 35. I can't believe I got 35 of these episodes, man. People keep watching. I don't know why. People keep watching, man. As long as everybody's watching, I'm going to be bringing this and helping places people may not know about, like Beach House Brewing down on the Jersey Shore, Belmar, New Jersey. And that's one of the reasons I do this, because I love to spread the word about places that are I wouldn't say off the beaten path, because you guys are right there in the heart. But for us here in Connecticut, that's kind of a journey. But I hope that some of my friends are listening and they come out and listen. If you are going to go to Beach House and you saw it because you've never been there before and you saw it on the show, please tell them that you saw the show and that's why you came in, because you thought how great it was and you heard about all your awesome beers, and let them know that this is why you came in, because you heard about it here on Just a Guy with a Beer. So speaking of awesome beers, this is the one that I have tagged for my first beer from Beach House Brewing. Chicky Mickey. This is my first one. All right.
Okay.
I look at this thing and I see an IPA, Huel Apps Melon.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at the different types of hops that are in there, and the melon caught my eye. So I'm very intrigued by this.
Okay.
You told me a little bit about it, so why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about Shicky Mickey and what?
Okay, so Shicky Mickey. Well, so it's like kind of like German slang for hipster.
Okay.
So the idea behind it was to be like the can so like gaudy and like eccentric. So that's where the art label comes from. But then also the idea behind it was just kind of like, let's say, can we use German hops, German Pilsner malt, and just kind of make like obviously wheat. And we're not finding Reinskobalt with this beer, but we're just like going, we're just making a beer that can we make a fun hazy IPA that's different from everything else. So like for instance, you look at your normal, hops, Citra, Mosaic, Idaho 7, Gemma, Idaho, the stuff from New Zealand, great hops. You get El Dorado, but we want to use like just straight German hops and see if we can do something different. That's like, okay, this has a unique taste to it. So we're using Hugh Melon, so very heavy, it's got a nice melon taste, like a ripe cantaloupe, ripe melon. It's juicy. And then we're also using, Hugh Melon. We're using a hint of some Lotus. The Lotus is a new Hopsteiner hop. It was experimental. It just gives it a little bit of a pop, a little bit of lime. And then it was Hugh Melon, Lotus. And then the other one, it's a what is it, Hallertau Blanc, so it's a hint of like pineapple. So it's again, this was like the German take on like, can we make like, I would say like almost like, can we make a Citra or a juicy hop, which I thought was
Sounds pretty interesting. That's like a weird, cool combination, and I can't. It's probably going to be super, super tasty, and I can't wait to crack that one.
Yeah.
So next one is Swell. Would you say this is?
Swell is my baby. This is my favorite beer. So this is, again, I would say our house IPA, Citra Mosaic. It's very simple, but also flavor is great. We're just double dry hop, fun can. Again, playing around with the beach theme plate. Kind of punny stuff. But just easy drinking. It's like 7. I want to say it's 7.2. Just a fun, good IPA, not too bitter. So we're pretty much for all of our IPAs, they're all going in as like last minute, 5-minute additions. So we're not picking up alpha acid, and then everything else is dry hop. Sorry, Whirlpool, big Whirlpool, and then we're doing double dry hops in all of our IPAs and our milkshakes.
That's a good popular style. So
yeah,
I'm sure that's a killer for you guys too.
Yeah, I mean, so not bitter. Like the Shicky Mickey is like the least bitter beer we have, but like the IPA just has a little bit of like, oh, you're an IPA, but I'm juicy, Right.
And those are popular. You don't like IPA?
Yeah.
Do you really like IPAs? If your favorite IPA is a New England IPA, your IPA could be something a lot danker than that.
I mean, I drink it all. I had fun drinking a lot of West Coast IPAs. I was drinking the Brute IPAs when they first started. I've had Pliny the Elder. I had 2-day-old Pliny the Elder with Vinny when he was teaching my class. Best moment of my life. He's like, sorry, there was a keg of Pliny the Younger saved you, but someone took it, so I threw it out. I don't know. Here's a case of like fresh Pliny, So yeah, I mean, love it all. I mean, I'm a beer nerd. I just love it all.
I was saying that beer, Pliny the Elder. Or Pliny, either one, it remains my unicorn beer. I have yet to have. So cross my fingers that I'll be able to have it someday.
Okay. Actually, then your best bet, because there's only one place, on the East Coast that he sells Pliny, and that's at it's in Philly. It is it's a Belgian tavern. It's skipping my name. It was really funny. I asked him about it. He's like, I just love the mussels there. It's fantastic, but yeah, so there's a small chance, or just, have some bottles shipped to you.
Oh, my sister lives in Philly. My folks live right outside of Philly. So
yeah,
let's get out there. Go find it. My dad.
I'm down.
My mom will do it. No, my mom will do it, man.
Don't threaten me with a good time. I'm always down for adventure,
So the last one here.
Okay.
I saved this one intentionally for last.
Okay.
It's one that really, really intrigued me. Now, I'm not going to drink this first.
Okay.
Only only because the other ones are really have caught my attention. I'm definitely going to drink this one.
Okay.
I've never had. It's your flannel.
Okay. So again, so our cellar manager slash, I mean, so there's a couple of us, so we all wear different hats, but our cellar manager slash assistant brewer, Logan Smith, he's one of my other brewers. I couldn't do this job without him. But this is his baby. So the inspiration was carrot cake. So we're looking at a big, it's like a carrot cake, amber to, I would say maybe a brown, not a stout yet. So dark, malty. So we're looking at flavors of cinnamon, lactose to give that sweetness. And then we roasted, I mean, so originally it was about 1,000 pounds. I think after being cut, let's say at 900, because after shaving them. But yeah, so luckily we have, and I will say this, a Belmar Bagel in Belmar, New Jersey, like maybe 5 minutes from us, a 5-minute walk from us.
That's another thing you can't get here.
Oh,
another thing you can't get here is bagels. That's where you get bagels.
So good. Taylor ham. Taylor ham or pork roll for
I can get pork roll.
Okay.
I get Taylor ham.
Okay.
I'm a Taylor ham guy, not a pork roll. But my mom usually gets me a log of it when she comes to visit. But my local grocery store here in the northeastern Connecticut,
okay,
it's Taylor ham in a little box. It's a little 6 slices.
Yeah, get the 6 slices.
I have it on a bagel with my cheese.
So yes, good.
Little
cheese, little bagel. Oh, it sounds great.
Sure. Yes,
but yeah, so we were actually able to use their oven to make bagels, and we put 1,000 pounds of carrots in it, slowly roasted them. Yeah, it worked out really well. And so again, just inspiration is carrot cake. It's sweet. It's dark. It's nice for like, so hypothetically, I always picture myself like I'm going to be drinking this beer, sitting next to a campfire with a hoodie on. It's nicer when it's a little colder weather.
I'm not going to stay for that long.
Okay.
I'm going to drink that one probably on next weekend.
I would say drink it towards the end because I mean it's not a palate wrecker, but yeah, definitely being darker. You're gonna be tasting that sweetness and the carrots and the cinnamon.
I want to make sure I get the full flavor of it. I can give it an honest rating on tap.
Sweet, I appreciate that.
Cool. So just before we move on here, I just read this segment is brought to you by my newest sponsor, Labyrinth Brewing in Manchester, Connecticut. You can find them on the web at labyrinthbrewingcompany.com. It's pretty awesome. If you heard the commercial, they have all their beer. Most of their beers are like a horror, heavy metal theme. If you're a metal fan, you'll recognize some of the things in the brewery, and their tasting room is fantastic. It's right up my alley. I love it there. From the moment I stepped foot in Labyrinth Brewing, I fell in love with the place. So I'm happy to have them here. And if you guys are listening, get out to Manchester, go see Sean and his guys at Labyrinth. They're fantastic, and I'm happy to have them on board. So we're almost out of time here. But I wanted to ask you a couple things.
Sure.
One thing I just wanted to tell you one thing that I love about your can. Besides your can art is very cool. I like the waves around the top of the cans.
Yeah, that's like our signature look. We're trying to
love it, and I like how you guys put born on dates, can dates on your, and it's not like something someone scrawled on there. It's like like no kidding, printed on your can label. Yeah.
So Jersey's a little more strict. I don't know if the can on dates has to be on every Jersey can, but for us, we want to tell you, like, hey, this is when we were canning the dates. We were canning the beer. Here's our dates. Here's as much information. We used to put the IBUs on, but like people have kind of cared less about it over time. But yeah, again, we just want to talk about freshness. So just to make sure you look at that beer and it's not hidden somewhere in the can. You just turn. There's a little sleeve, gives a little story, and then it tells you, hey, this is when it was. The can was made. Here's the alcohol content. Enjoy.
It's less. This one, Chicky Mickey. This one is less than 3 weeks old. So I'll drink that one first. It's the freshest beer that you sent me, so I'm gonna drinking that one first. And
you gotta do it up.
So we kind of touched a little bit on distro. Maybe you guys could get up here in Connecticut. And you said New York.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Connecticut. Yeah, I mean, it may happen, I mean, the idea is we're kind of like moving, hitting all the popular spots where, I mean, if it was like, the dream would be Connecticut, Boston, and then go a little down to like Maryland, and then eventually Baltimore. But yeah, I mean, and just kind of be like, that's our let's say your 5 to 8 states range and be happy with that. But yeah, it's exciting. We're doing well. Things are good. It's a massive spot, and we're cranking out a lot of beer, and people are happy with it.
I like it, and everybody that I know that's had your beer has said great things about it. My dad raved about your place. My mom and dad loved it.
Thank you.
The whole atmosphere. They were sold on it just from that. So I'm looking forward to coming. You guys have any projects coming up? Any collabs maybe?
So we haven't really done too much. Oh, well, so I mean, our latest collab is going to be Main Street Jam. So we're working with like a local donut spot to make a jelly donut IPA. So it's going to be Imperial. So we're looking at about 9.2. And again, we're looking at the idea was we put 300 pounds of jelly donuts 300 pounds of donuts into the mash. I mean, I always wanted to do it, so
it's great.
And then it's great. And then we did. So we were going to use their raspberry jam, but it just with the TTB in New Jersey, it was a little hard. So we ended up just using raspberry and strawberry puree. The color is nice. It's like a nice pink hue to and then we got that. Come summertime, we have a bunch of sours coming out. We have a hard seltzer. I'm going to be doing as a test department, and hopefully it's going to turn into like a bigger beer, a ube. So that's like a Filipino purple yam. We're using that to make a milkshake out of.
Nice.
Just a lot of fun projects, and also on top of that, just me. The other guys have just creativity on the test department system. So we're just having fun with it,
It's awesome. It makes it a great place to work. Plus,
yeah,
interesting and fun too. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Matt, I appreciate it. We're out of time.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Taking a little bit of time. I hope to get to meet you soon. So.
Oh, you will. Don't worry. I'll see you when you're down here.
Yeah, my second COVID shot is coming in next week. So I'll be ready to go, and I'll be heading down to down the shore to see some family and friends. And I'm definitely going to stop in and make sure that we get to shake hands and have a beer together. That would be great.
Oh, we will.
Awesome. All right. So listen, guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. This has been episode number 35 of Just a Guy with a Beer. Matt Pipkin,
Bye, guys.
head brewer, Beach House Brewing, Belmar, New Jersey. Get down there and see him. Guys, please, stay safe. If you're going to drink, please do not drive. Have a plan. Have a designated driver. Call an Uber. Call me.
Lyft.
Please do something. I would rather bitch at you driving you home than have to go identify you, God forbid, or go eulogize you. Please be smart, party responsibly, and definitely, guys, don't beer shame your friends. I'll see you next week with an awesome episode of Just a Guy with a Beer, and I will reveal my guest by the end of the week. So for Matt Pipkin, this is Scott Fryer saying we'll see you guys next week.
Later.
Your friends. Take care.